Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Kathryn Mademann. I'm with
Lisa Richardson.
And it's so good to be back together, and we are in the middle of summer.
And there's so much going on our island, not just in the hospitality front, but on the business front, right, Kathryn?
We have a lot of hot topics. And so today, our first guest is going to be Dr. Newman, who is the new executive director for the Hilton Head VIMS program, and he's going to give us a lot of good information. We also then have Sean Collins, who is the senior project manager for the town of Hilton Head. And then we also have Miss Heather Rath.
So lots to hear about, so stick with us. We'll be right back with more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. And welcome to 843 TV, and I am delighted to introduce you to Dr. Newman, who is new to Hilton Head Island, and he's also the new executive director of the VIM program here on the island. And welcome to Hilton Head.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You know, off camera, we're talking a little bit about how long you've been here. You just arrived, and then you came to the clinic, and you've taken on the executive director position. So before we go far, tell us a little bit of your background before you arrived here, what were you practicing?
How I got here. It's been an interesting route. I mean, you know, it's funny because when I was interviewing, they were saying, how are you going to deal with this transition? Because I'm coming from Northeast Wisconsin, from up north to down here. And I had to remind them, I was born in Charleston. And so I was a military kid, so we bounced from Charleston to Florida, to Bermuda, to Europe, back to Illinois, back to North Carolina. It's kind of where I grew up in my high school years, and then I went to college in North Carolina, and then I joined the Navy. And so then I continued my journey bouncing in the Navy, training as a general surgeon in the Navy, mostly along the East Coast, and was certainly for the last 17 years that I spent in the Navy, that got to experience a little bit of what was going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, but finally set up home as far as private practice in Virginia, which is where the Navy dropped me off. And so we set up private practice, and then I joined a large health system and was skilled at growing programs, and particularly surgical programs. And so just did that in Virginia for about 10 years. And then my family said, let's do something different. So we took them out to Wisconsin for the last 7 years, and it was a great time. And I got to put a plug in for the Milwaukee Bucks, who won the national champion last night.
That's right, first time in 71. I saw that.
Right? And so we've had a blast up there, but we've always been, our vacation and our sanctuary has been coming back. And how many times have you heard this story about just coming back to Hilton Head? And one of the promises that I've been trying to keep is my wife, who's from Cincinnati, says, if we can get a little warmer, John, close to the ocean, please try and do that. And so with the opportunity kind of presented itself in an interesting way. And I've always said, you know, wherever the good Lord wants us, we'll wind up being. And I've found a way to say yes to the folks that needed help. And particularly, I've done mission trips my entire life, whether it be Bangladesh or Uganda or even the humanitarian missions we did in the Navy. And every time I came back from them, I'm like, this is the work that I should be doing. And so what's brought me all around to this point right here and today is really to get to do the work that I should be doing. And that work, you know, I thought I was gonna have to go to some third world country and try and make do. And I realized there's a spot right here in the United States that is a wonderful place to live, but is meeting this need. And so it's given purpose, it's given hope, and it's surrounded by love. So it's a good place to be.
Wonderful. So you have a heart for serving and mission, sounds like. So what a perfect place for VIM, Volunteers in Medicine. What are some plans that you have as you start this new role?
Yeah, certainly VIM's got almost 30 years of history here. So they have, I was calculating up, I think they're getting close to their 1 millionth patient here on the island. So you think about who needs to know about VIM. I said the patients, so the patients that live and work on the island, and these are the folks that are in our food industry and our hotel industry, on the landscaping industry, that are working hard and they're making money, but they may not necessarily have health insurance. And that's what the clinic's for. And it's a free clinic. So there's not a penny that's charged with them. But we do dental services, and so not only filling cavities, and because the oral cavity is probably the window into the soul for health with them, but also restoring with dentures and giving somebody a smile back is perhaps some of the coolest things we do, just to see somebody who's now comfortable smiling. But the health and wellness of our patients. And certainly we're treating diseases, but we're also doing everything we can to prevent disease, because that's the name of the game, to say, what can we do to engage with our patients? So for the patients, if you're living and working on Hilton Head Island and you don't have enough to have health insurance and you're like, can somebody help us? VIM can help. And so, but this was the very first VIM ever.
Yes.
And so this was the vision, right? And so Dr. Jack McConnell set it up, and really for this purpose of saying, what can we do for the folks that are really running this island with such hard work? They need healthcare. And so we set it up for them. But the second purpose VIM does is also gives purpose to, we've got a lot of retired doctors and nurses and executives that really still have in their heart they want to give back. And so the purpose that VIM gives to the physicians and the nurses and all the volunteers, I mean, just this month, my first month here, I was looking and said, all right, so what have they done? And it's 4,000 hours of volunteer hours.
Amazing.
I mean, it's just driven by this incredible energy from the philanthropy of the time and the talent. And quite honestly, the treasures from the community that support the VIM clinic. So the patients need to know. The volunteers, if you're interested in volunteering, give us a call, because we'll find purpose for you. And I'm just thankful that all the doctors and nurses were not very good golfers, and they decided they still were very good clinicians, and they wanted to keep doing what they do best.
Dr. Newman, you will find on this island, a lot of people do give back to the island, and that's one of the things I find comfort. And we've hosted the show, we have guests like this, they do give back, and that's great. And like you said, there are a lot of docs and nurses here. So as being the new executive director, I only have a little time with you. What's your next vision for the clinic?
I think just continue to reach out. I think we've penetrated over 50% of the folks that need us, but there's another 50% to get to. With working on weight loss, not just for obesity is the crux of health in America right now. And to say, what can we do to gather our forces, not just for the clinic, but to participate in the community, to what can we all do together to achieve health. So I want to be a partner for all the economic engines, but also all of our patients, and leverage the time and talent that we've got at the
And one other thing about COVID, to get the vaccine, is the clinic offering the vaccine?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday?
So for not just our patients, for anybody in the community that needs a vaccine, give us a call. We'll get you in. We'll get you taken care of. And please get vaccinated.
Well, John, thank you for sharing, and welcome again to the island. We're excited. I know you're excited. And if you all want to find out a little bit more about how you can help, contact John. The number and website are on their screen. And stay right here. We're going to be back with more 843 TV.